like that. Oh yeah, like this. Oh yeah, this is good. I like.
Hey guys, what are you up to?
Oh,
I've been looking for you guys all over.
hey Martin,
You were
I was
supposed to be
just
at
off.
the thing.
Oh, I
right.
totally lost track of time.
I can see that. Hey, you guys are really busy.
Oh, okay, let's get ready. Sammy, do you remember what it is that we're supposed to be teaching about today?
I think it's media and literacy. Is that
Media
it?
literacy, right. Right, yeah.
I think it'd be a very important topic today. Yeah.
Right, good timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dope Experience.
So what is media literacy? What does that mean?
When I think about media, I think about photography, videos, podcasts, radio.
There's all kinds of different media like television, radio, like you said. Social media is a huge one as well.
What about newspapers and magazines?
Absolutely, yeah, that's a
all
really
I'm
good
saying.
call.
Yeah.
Those are all the multimedias.
So there are many kinds of media. What is media literacy?
And literacy means, I think, reading, something that you read. So learning to read through the media.
And thinking about it critically. Critical thinking is when you don't just believe everything that you see or hear. You think about what the intentions behind that message are, who is saying it, how it makes you feel, and then taking that information and making up your own mind, right?
That's right.
That's right. Sometimes we should be a little skeptical about the things we see in the media, on social media, for example.
It's very important for you to use your own judgment and not let yourself influence by others, and making sure that you're questioning what you're reading. Who is it targeting? Maybe, for example, if you're seeing something with a model that is wearing some sports brand, and then you see that it's clearly the sports brand that is popping, then maybe you can read through it and see who is the target, who is making this picture, this information, this ad.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's not even showed as an ad. And behind it, it's all about a promotional ad that makes you think that you're just watching some daily routine of someone.
That's a really good point
Make
too.
you feel
There's
like
this
it.
thing called,
ahead.
product placement. So if you're watching a television show, like you were just saying, and you might see like a can of Coca-Cola in the background, that is something that is advertising a product to you, and there's probably money that's been exchanged. Coca-Cola has probably paid the people making the television show, and you wouldn't necessarily know that if you don't know, if you're not super educated on media and advertising. Yeah. So we've included in the packages with your Dope Experience Kit a few links to YouTubers who are talking about different aspects of the teen brains and digital literacy. But really quickly, there are some really interesting things that go off in your brain, especially when you are consuming social media. So many people have smartphones now, and you can also log into social media on any device, like a computer that can access the internet. And we had talked about brains the other day quite a lot. And did you know that when you're consuming media on your phone, there's something interesting happening in your brain called the dopamine loop? Do you remember about that? What's the dopamine loop?
I've heard about the dopamine loop. It's just basically it's a cycle that we can get caught in sometimes because social media or like using our phones or tablets, they're so accessible and there's so many fun and exciting things coming at us from the internet that we really get into a habit of like picking it up. We see something exciting, or maybe someone liked one of our pictures, and it sets off something in our brain like dopamine, and it makes us feel pretty good about ourselves. And we're like, yeah, I feel good. We put our phone down, that dopamine level comes back down, and then your automatic reaction is to reach for that phone again and get that dopamine kick again. Now, dopamine is not a bad thing. Dopamine's great. It does a lot of good things for the brain. But if we keep reusing that same thing over and over, it could have some consequences.
And that's how social media can be sort of like a drug. It's impacting your brain in a lot of the same ways that certain drugs do.
I have a question, Laura.
Yeah.
Is there a way that we can sort of, what would be a good way to approach any sort of piece of media or something I see in social media if I'm skeptical of it, what's a good way to approach? Is there sort of like, what are some of the questions I should maybe ask when?
That's a
when I see
great
it?
question. Yeah. So, being a critical consumer of media, if you are looking at a piece of information or reading an article or listening to a podcast or a radio show, there are 4 key questions that you can keep in mind when you're looking at any kind of media content. What is the main message that they are trying to send you through that content? Who is the they? Who are the people who are putting that out there? What kinds of biases might those people hold or that company hold? And a bias is when someone is of a strong opinion of something. What kinds of opinions would they be holding? And then what are they hoping that their message will do to you? Often it is, for example, trying to make you spend money, think their product is cool, and then invest your money in it. And so thinking of those 4 things: what is the message? Who is sending that message? What kind of bias might the person sending that message hold that they're trying to convince you of? And what is it that they are trying to do by sending you that message?
Yeah, that covers it.
Yeah.
From this point, you would be able to see clearly through images and through pictures or through any sort of media that you will encounter, and be able to clearly see where it comes from, what is it trying to reach to you, and how is it trying to reach you. And then you can have a better judgment and make a better choice in the future of what you want for your own life.
Absolutely, yeah. And also, the internet is a magical tool. You can create connections with people outside of your community and deeper connections with people who you see in everyday life. Just to be a bit mindful of spending too much time and getting your brain overly addicted to social media likes, and taking some time to be a critical consumer while you're on the internet.